In order to have these conversations with voters across the spectrum, you've got to start early. You've got to go deep, which is part of organizing, but you also have to speak their language. And that can be difficult when you're trying to have the same conversation with very different listeners.
So as far as like messaging for the Yes on 3 campaign in Missouri, we focused really on two things. We focused on the devastating consequences of our state's abortion ban. And that is something that for a lot of Missourians was top of mind. Missouri was one of the first states to ban abortion after the Dobbs decision came in 2022. But if you're not someone that has to interact with that part of the healthcare system, maybe you don't know. You don't know if abortion is banned in your state or if it's legal. Very early on in our research, we do a lot of polling. We try to talk to as many voters as possible when we're doing that. But we saw that close to 45% of voters who at some point would like switch their vote on Amendment 3 believed that Missouri's abortion law had exceptions for survivors of rape and incest. So some of this work is just educating voters about sort of what is the state of abortion access. And as I mentioned earlier, a lot of the way that we do that is through first person storytelling and, giving women and pregnant people the ability to share their own experiences and, making sure voters understand that they have some self-interest here, right? Even if they don't see themselves as someone who may need access to abortion, Missouri's abortion laws are so out of step with their values. They, impact the ability of women who are miscarrying to get timely access to care. They force doctors to wait for patients' conditions to get worse before offering treatment. So I think the first sort of step is really just making sure voters understand, hey, what is at stake with my vote on this question? And then the second thing is I think really just tapping into this shared value of not wanting politicians in our personal business. We want to keep politicians out of our personal medical decisions. They are not the best people to be making these decisions for women and their families. And I think that is something at the end of the day that Missourians, whether we are Democrats or Republicans or nothing at all, or somewhere in between, can agree on that we are the best decision makers for the most important things in our own lives.